Quickly. As stated before, dual camera setups on both. The iPhone 12 has a 12 megapixel wide angle lens and then a 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor. The Pixel 5 has a 12.2 megapixel wide angle lens, then a 16 megapixel ultra wide sensor. And when you're looking at the user interfaces of both, I think they both look pretty much the same here too. I don't think there's one that's like the best winner or the one has the best features, but definitely when it comes down to it, I think iOS has always had, and especially iPhones of that year, have had better quality photos than Pixels of that year recently. But I think the Pixel 5 has more features built in because when you scroll all the way to the right, you have all these more options that are a couple options here. You have, I think, more options overall on the Pixel 5 than you do on the iPhone side. You can do 4K at 60 on that back camera. I think the front camera, like many other phones, is where the Pixel 5 faults in. You can only do 1080p at 30 frames per second on this front camera, or you can do 4K at 60 on the iPhone 12's front camera. Now, I think year after year, Google just gets it almost right for the most part. I think with a phone like the Pixel 5, you're probably going to be okay. You know, you have that ultra wide sensor, which is something I really like having. It doesn't seem like it goes as far as out as the iPhone 12's, but I think, like I said before, the biggest fault of this specific phone would definitely come in the form of the front camera. You can only do 1080p at this front camera, and it seems like Pixel, they just can't get it right. You know, the back camera has been really good on most devices, but when you have, you know, things like iPhone 12 being able to do 4K at 60 on the front camera, that really just doesn't make the Pixel 5 look, you know, that much better in my opinion. On 12, I think overall it's an extremely good camera, and I'm not even just saying that. I think probably the Galaxy S20 has a better camera than this, but this is a very stable, good camera. The UI isn't glitchy. It doesn't have as many features as something like a Pixel 5, but I think for the most part and for what a lot of people are going to be using their phone for, the iPhone 12 is perfect, especially with that front-facing camera. The 4K at 60 is really awesome, and if the Pixel 5 had it, I think it would have been a little bit better, but I think the iPhone 12 definitely wins in terms of the front camera, but I'm going to be doing a full camera comparison between these two at some point, so make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss that. But in terms of that, that pretty much covers it up.